Hi guys, I'm Joel Kachi and this is TechCity Insights. My guest today has been with Microsoft for the past 11 years and recently she was announced the leader of the Windows Insiders Fellowship Program. She is in Nigeria to talk to us about that and quite a number of other things that she'll be busy with while she's here. Ladies and gentlemen, please say welcome to Dona Sarkar.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So
welcome to Nigeria.
Thank you.
It's your first time in Nigeria and even Africa as a continent?
Yes, it's my first time in Lagos, first time in Nigeria, first time on the continent.
Amazing.
Yes.
So what brings you here?
Okay, so I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
122 days ago, I took over leading the engineering part of the Windows Insider program.
Yes.
So the Windows Insider program is a large community of people, the biggest community of people on earth, who use the technology we love to try to solve and tackle these problems that have plagued our society for generations, right? And the insiders realize that there's no way that we're going to solve these old problems, things like homelessness, low-income housing, climate change, pollution, without technology. Because we've tried for generations.
True.
It's not working. So you know what we need to do is apply tech to the problem. So of course it's my dream job, right? So I was asked to take over this program from a community point of view, and I said, of course. And I started talking to my peers, and my peers are Jeremiah and Thomas, and they've both been in this area for a while, and one thing that we all realized was that we don't know enough about certain parts of the world. There's a lot of parts of the world that we know quite a bit about because we've either lived there, we're from there. We know quite a bit about Europe, we know quite a bit about the US, but we don't know very much about the continent. So all of us were deeply passionate about learning. We said we want to learn, and the best way to learn is to go there. So we said, instead of just showing up and asking a bunch of questions, let's do something, something interesting and cool. So we started coming up with ideas on what could we do here in partnership with someone local. So of course we immediately thought about the Microsoft Nigeria office because those guys are amazing. And once we reached out to them, they said, you guys want to partner with Co-Creation Hub because they have the same vision as you, which is using technology for good. And anything they fund or help grow to fruition should be helping make society a better place. And we said, oh my gosh, you guys are soulmates right now, right? So we should definitely work with them. So we started brainstorming and saying, let's do something small so that we understand all of the variables involved. So we came up with this idea of a fellowship program where we would put out the call for applications for anyone who has an idea. So they don't have to be a computer science major, have a business school degree. They just have to have an idea on how to make Lagos, Nigeria, a better place. And I say that if you can solve something for 10 people, you're probably going to solve it for hundreds. Because something that affects maybe 10 people who live on this street are probably going to affect 10 people who live on that street.
The other streets.
Exactly. And in a lot of emerging nations, these problems are similar, right? Like last night, potholes fill up with water, cars fall in them. That's a common problem across the globe.
Across the world.
Right? So if we can solve that problem for Lagos, for one street in Lagos, we can solve that for most streets in Lagos. We can solve that, apply that same solution to Mumbai.
Other cities.
Right, Mumbai, Mexico City, so many countries, so many cities, that same solution can be applied, right? So people think like, oh, that only affects my street. It might affect the world. So I find that really inspirational because tech can actually help you scale and communicate solutions. And the Windows Insiders have that superpower already where they're able to apply technology and say, okay, here's a problem, how can I use the technology that I love, that I'm quite familiar with, to come up with a solution for this? So that's how the idea of this Windows Insiders for Good, Winsiders for Good, Nigeria Fellowship came about. And partnering with Co-Creation Hub, it just came together very naturally. Like, we'll put out the call for applications, we'll choose 20, because 20 is a very manageable number.
Yes, for starters?
Exactly, for starters. To start, we call it an alpha. So alpha is before beta, before even thinking about shipping globally. Let's do a test.